Well, hello, this is Ronald Reagan. I'll tell you a quick story. True story about my grandparents. All my grandparents came to the United States from Europe. My one grandfather they all lived in Chicago too when they came over here. My grandfather, Mario Bruno, came from Italy. He was a teenager, a young kid. Lived as a hobo for a while. Wound up having my mom, but by that time he had married his wife. He came from an area in Italy, what they call as Calabrese, or from Calabria. The town was named Murano Marchesato. It's down in southern Italy, kind of near the long big toe. Anyway, he was quite the character. In Chicago, he owned taverns, and he was a big guy. The rest of us are all little short shits. My mom was like 5 foot nothing, and I'm bigger than that. But my grandfather, he was like 6 something, and good thing too, because he wound up throwing some people out of the bar physically. Anyway, kind of a funny story about him. This is as reported to me by my mom. Apparently, they were roughhousing. My grandfather was having a party at his house. My mom was just a little girl. And this had to be like the 1930s maybe. But around that time. So they're roughhousing in the living room. And it was my grandfather and a relative. I don't even know who the other relative was. I don't know his name. I'll just refer to him as the dude. But my grandfather, Mario, and this guy were wrestling around on the floor, and things kind of escalate when boys are playing, and the dude picked up a bar of soap. And in those days, the bars of soap were big. They used to shave them for their laundry and use them for cut off what you needed. Anyway, he threw this big old bar of soap at my grandfather across the room. My grandfather ducked it off, but it hit my grandmother. That ticked off my grandfather. They got into a real fight right there at his house in the living room. And my grandfather, Mario, he went and took that man's leg and broke it over his own leg, as the story goes, as I was told. Well, believe it or not, they never spoke another word to each other the rest of their lives. The dude, he eventually died of natural causes from whatever. And just to show you that my family doesn't hold grudges, my grandfather sent to his mortuary, the funeral house, a huge wreath of flowers in the shape of an upside down horseshoe. Now this thing was big enough to go completely around double swinging doors that they had as the entryway to get into the viewing room and all the rest of the stuff, the chapel. So they had this wreath, this huge wreath that went across in the shape of an upside down horseshoe. And there was a big ribbon that went across the front of it. And written in Italian it read, "So long, you son of a bitch." True story.